Hi guys, it's Angel and I am finally posting a video on my YouTube channel. Today's video, I'm going to be speaking about my experience at Target working as a fulfillment employee. It was a seasonal position and I'm going to go through a few points which I actually wrote down. I wrote down a bunch of things that I want to speak about, and first I'm going to actually speak about how I applied. So let's get straight into it, because baby, we have a lot to talk about, and like, this is tea. Like, get your chips, get your food, whatever you want to do before you watch this video. Go get it and come join me for this little chat. So how did I apply? So basically I went to the mall with my parents, and they're at Target in the mall, and we seen a sign that said we're hiring for like seasonal we're hiring seasonal employees, $15 an hour, whatever. And it says apply online at target.com, whatever. So I applied online through the Target website on September 21st of 2020 I was not expecting to be called back. I was not expecting for the interview to go good or anything. Like, honestly, I did not know that I was gonna get this job. So I just did it because my parents was telling me to do it. They was like, go ahead, apply, da da da. So I applied. When did I get a call back? So I applied on September 21st, and on September 23rd I got a call back from Target by the HR lady, and she actually asked me a few questions before telling me that they want me to come in for an interview. So she asked me like my availability and why I want to work at Target. So, you know, I just let them know that my availability was literally every day, all day, because even though I'm in college, my classes are all online, and due to COVID, and all my classes don't even have like Zoom calls or anything. Only one did, and that was only on Tuesdays. So I let her know that on Tuesdays, you know, I can't come in between a certain time. So then we set up the interview for September 25th, which was only 2 days later. So yeah, and I honestly was not prepared. Like, I didn't have any clothes. I had to actually buy a new shirt, or I borrowed a shirt from my dad or something like that. I don't know. So yeah, now we're gonna talk about the interview, because when I tell you I was not prepared for that interview at all, I just walked in there and said whatever the fuck came through my head. So yeah, honestly, the interview isn't something that you should be stressing about. Like, it was really basic questions that people would ask you in any interview, and they also ask you like a few scenarios, and the scenarios are basically like, what was something that you accomplished that made you very happy, or like, what was something that you had to be a leader for, like, just basic shit. So it's not hard. Honestly, my interviewer was some white guy, and he had like blue eyes, and he was mad nice, and honestly, his eyes were the thing that like made me really be engaged in the conversation, because I was just looking at them the whole time. So it was really good, like, eye contact. I was talking the whole time. He let me know that I was actually being interviewed for the fulfillment team. Like, I wasn't being hired or interviewed for cashier or anything. I asked him, like, if you are working a seasonal position, is there a chance of you actually being hired? And he actually told me that yeah, they usually hire at least, like, they hire a few people. He was like that usually a lot of people end up leaving Target, so, or like they retire and stuff like that. So he was like that they do hire a lot of seasonal employees. And I just wanted to know that just in case, because I kind of wanted to get hired, but I didn't get hired. So yeah, as I was saying, most of the questions were basic, and a lot of my answers just came from the top of my head, and I was offered the job on the spot. Like, he was like, so I want to offer you the job because you seem like you qualify. Like, he was like, you just seem like you would be a good fit for the company. So I was hired on the spot, and it was like, honestly, it was a big surprise to me. Like, I was just like, what? Like, bitch, did I just get hired on the spot? Like, I've never been hired on the spot before. So I was hired. He told me that they'll like call me for orientation day or whatever, but I had to do a background check before orientation. So basically, after the interview, you're gonna get an email about a background check, and you have to do that background check immediately, like once you get that email, because once it's like 24 hours, it's done and shuts off or something. Like, you can't do it, and you basically don't have the job anymore, because you're supposed to do that shit right away. So I did the background check literally right when I got home, And they said that sometimes it takes like 2 to 5 days for the background check, but for some reason I got it the same night. So I don't know. He also let me know that I had to come in the he also let me know that I had to come into the orientation with the red top and khaki pants or jeans. Oh, so when they called me for the orientation, they let me know that it was actually on the 28th. And yeah, so I did my background check the same day, and it actually cleared in 5 hours. So that was good for me, because he said that he doesn't know if it clears that quick. He said usually like a background check takes like 2 to 5 days. So I thought it was gonna take a while, but it was like boom, boom, boom. Everything happened so quick. Like, honestly, that was the quickest I've ever gotten a job, started a job, all of the above, bitch. Now I'm gonna talk about the uniform. So the uniform is definitely a red top, baby. Like, it could be like, this sweater is kind of burgundy. I don't know, it looks red in the camera, but this top is kind of burgundy. But it's basically any shade of red. If it has any logo, you can like cover it with your name tag, like if you have a little Nike's check or whatever. So yeah, that's the uniform. This name tag, a red top. It could be long sleeve, short sleeve, it doesn't matter. It could be button down, it could be collared, whatever. You can also wear jeans, and you have to wear sneakers. You cannot wear Crocs, you cannot wear any open toe shoes, you cannot wear high heels, none of that. Because that's what I actually asked, because if you know me, you know I'm very into Crocs, and I wear Crocs like all the time. So I actually asked them the day of my orientation, I was like, can I wear Crocs? And they was like, no, bitch, you thought. You really thought. So even though the name tag is a part of the uniform, on orientation day, they don't make you like put the name tag. But once you do start working, they actually give you like these stickers. They don't actually give it to you, because they just leave it on like a table for you to like write your name or whatever. So yeah, you're gonna have a sticker for a while, until like 2 to 3 weeks, and then they give you like an actual name tag. My dumbass actually lost my name tag while on the job. So I ended up getting this one, which the girl just wrote my name with a Sharpie. So you could also do that, I mean, if you don't want to wait. So now we're going to talk about orientation day. This is a lot of talking. I'm getting kind of tired and thirsty, bitch. First things first, orientation day is ran by the PR people. I mean PR. Bitch said public relations. Oh my god, slap me now. Orientation day is ran by the HR people. So on orientation day, you have to make sure you bring a valid form of ID. So you have to bring like your school ID, your ID, a passport, anything of the sort, your license, state ID, whatever. You have to bring your social security card, and you may want to bring your bank information. I don't know, that's up to you. I brought my bank information because I wanted to fill out the information for direct deposit, because bitch, I want to get paid. Like, I'm gonna do my direct deposit here and not at home, because maybe at home I'm gonna fucking forget. So they give you, during orientation, they give you this little temporary discount card. It's this right here. So yeah, because you're gonna need it during the orientation, because you're doing like a bunch of filling out on a bunch of apps. So you're doing Workday, Kronos Mobile, and what else? Oh, and the Target app. So you have 3 different apps that you're gonna be like working on and filling out a bunch of information. So orientation is about like, I think it's like 5 hours or something like that. I'm not really sure, I kind of forgot, but you will be watching a bunch of videos, bitch, so be prepared to be very bored. But my orientation day was actually pretty fun, because everybody was like very involved. They were very like talkative. Everybody was asking questions, so it was kind of really good. Even the lady said it. She was like, this is the best orientation I've ever had. So she was like that we're a really good group. So I had a good ass orientation, thank God. And you just speak about like a bunch of different rules, regulations, what they expect from you as a worker. They tell you about like different codes, like code red, code blue, code yellow. I don't really remember what they are, I forgot, but yeah. You learn about their little phone that they have. So they have this little phone called a Zebra. It's called a Zebra, and it basically, it beeps, it honks and shit. Like, I'll get into that. Hey y'all, so it's Angel from the editing room, and I actually did not even end up speaking about the Zebra. But basically the Zebra is used for scanning the items. It shows you where the items are, so you can go get it. That's when you're gonna audit items when you cannot find it. Yeah, you can look up where the item is. You can look up if it's in stock, if it's not in stock. Yeah, and it honks. So basically we have this thing called order pickup. So we have drive up, so it honks whenever one of our customers are on their way or when they actually get to the store. So it does like a little honk honk, like a little beep beep. So yeah, and it is very fucking annoying, bitch. And it beeps every time you scan something. Like, annoying. It gives you the only PTSD, like, seriously, or like the only anxiety, not PTSD, anxiety, bitch. It gives you anxiety every time you hear that shit. So yeah, I just wanted to insert that. Bye. Enjoy the rest of the video. Mwah. They help you fill out a bunch of different applications on Workday, Kronos app, Target app, like I said. I don't know if it's different for every store, but like this is what my store did, so I don't know. You also do a couple of things for like taxes. I think you do this at any job, so like this is nothing new. They showed us around the break room. They showed us a little bit of the store, like the front, like the doors and everything, because they had to explain to us that they only open the doors, I think, at like 7:55. So if your shift is at 8, you have to be there at 7:55, or you have to go upstairs or something like that. I don't know, it was something like that, I forgot. They said that they usually do go around the whole store so you could get like familiar with the layout and like what is what and where is the products and stuff like that. But they couldn't do it because of the COVID like rules or whatever, and they can't just walk in the whole fucking line and shit, like all of us going around the store. So that was kind of a bummer, because I feel like that would have helped a lot with me, like for the first day, because we didn't go around the store, so I didn't know anything about like where anything was. But it was whatever. You end up getting used to the store after you work there a while. I worked there for 3 months, so yeah. But the overall orientation was good. Remember, you get paid for this orientation, bitch. So this little 5-hour, 6-hour orientation is nothing, because you're not doing anything. So bitch, you better be happy with the motherfucking orientation, because you're getting paid. So now all you have to do is get trained. And that was scheduled for like a week later, and I didn't have a problem with that, because honestly I needed to like really get my mind prepared, because everything was going so fucking fast, and bitch, I'm not with it. So it was a 3-day training, but I only made it for 2 because one of them I missed out because I had to go get a new ID. And yeah, so now we're going to talk about training. Do not skip any of the training days, because even though I did miss one, I let them know about it first. Like, I didn't just say I'm not coming or I didn't go, because they can actually like terminate you once you fucking do that shit. So bitch, don't fucking miss one. Training was good. I had a fellow like coworker train me. She was really nice. She taught me everything. There was a few things I didn't learn with her, but overall it was good. It's definitely a lot to learn, like especially in one day, because I only had 1 day of physical training and then the other day was a computer training. So yeah, I didn't remember much, so I had to continue like just practicing and doing the job. The computer training, which was the next day, it was 8 hours long. That shit was ridiculous, and it just covers a bunch of different rules, regulations. It talks about like sexual harassment, what to do if a kid is lost, stuff like that. You have to do this computer training, because if you don't, you cannot work, which is weird, because a couple of people did, like they were working and haven't done that computer training, or they didn't finish it. So I don't know how the fuck that worked, but whatever. So now we're going to talk about the actual job itself. So as I told y'all before, I was hired for the fulfillment team, but I was also trained as a cashier. I was only trained as a cashier for like an hour, so I don't know the cash register that much, because it was only an hour. Like, yes, it's very easy, it's very simple, but bitch, I didn't do that shit long enough to like really be here for a whole day doing cashier, so nah. So as a fulfillment team member, you have lots of different tasks to do throughout the day, but they usually assign you one that you're actually going to be doing for the whole day, unless you're like done with your work and then you can like help other people do their work. So there's this break schedule they put up every day, and on there it tells you your breaks, but it also tells you what you're going to be doing for the day. So it'll either say pick, which is P-I-K, pack, which is P-A-K, prep, which is P-R-E, or O-P-U, which is O-P-U. So you're probably wondering like, what the fuck does that mean, bitch? Like, I never worked for Target, I don't know what the fuck this means, so I'm gonna explain it. Pick is P-I-K, which is when you're actually picking the items for orders that are being shipped out for people, which now leads us to the next task you may be assigned, which is pack, P-A-K. Pack is when you are packing the orders to be shipped out. And I don't know if every Target has like this shipping thing, because I know my store did. So we would be like packing shit up and putting it in the truck and stuff like that. So you'll be in the back of the store, but you may not even be packing all day because there isn't always something to pack. You may have to go and pick items on the sales floor. So even though you're packing, sometimes you might have to go and pick stuff because bitch, there's nothing to do. You can be assigned something for the day and still have to do other things if there is nothing to do for what you were assigned. So yeah, you're not just gonna be doing that one thing the whole day. You're gonna be doing a bunch of other things. Like, it's always work, bitch. Like, when I tell you always work, always work. There's also prep, which is PRE, which is when you're prepping the items before they even get packed. Because, you know, like, a lot of things are fragile or they could like spill. Because, you know, Target sells everything, bitch. So yeah. And then lastly, we have OPU, which is short for order pickup. Bitch, this is what I was doing every day, all the time. So yeah, I feel like this is the most difficult task. Like, let me just explain why. You literally have to look for the items on the sales floor, and it is timed. Like, bitch, they only give you like an hour to find like 40 items. Bitch, come on, like, that's ridiculous. And then you have a certain amount of time to get the items, but also not only are you picking the items, you have to put it in a bag and into the holding area. Bitch, like, okay. And not only that, you also have to like answer to customers whenever they want to ask you a question, and you have to help them. So that's taking away from your time to pick up the items and then put it in the bag in the holding area. So you're doing a bunch of different things at once. And my store, not only did they have like the regular like clothes, stuff like that, they also had a grocery area. So bitch, we had just, it was too much, like, seriously. So you have to make sure that you're keeping track of both the regular like order pickups and the grocery pickups. So there's two different little tabs. It has grocery, which will have like 5 different fucking orders, and then pickup, which will have like 10 different orders. Like, and then you have to keep track of which one has less time so that you pick that one before you pick the other one. So that just causes you stress because you just lose so much time whenever you're helping these customers, and then sometimes you can't even find the items. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves with that store. Like, not even that store, just Target in general. I feel like it is a stupid rule that if you can't find something, you cannot just click I can't find it. You have to like tell one of the team leaders, which they call them TLs or they call them ETLs. ETLs are above the TLs. Anyways, you have to talk to one of them. They have to help you, but with me, bitch, they never helped me. Like, I swear to God, they never helped me. Every time I called out for them, they would not answer. So I would just put I cannot find. Fuck it. Like, I didn't care. Because we have this thing called the INF score. Everyone gets it, and then we get like an overall thing for the team. Basically, you don't want that shit to be too high because you could get written up or you could get fired. And yeah, it can be like above 20 or something like that. So one time I got 40%, but it was only because I only got 12 things that day because I was packing the rest of the day. Bitch, my shit was at 40%, but I didn't get fired. I just got talked to, and I told her, like, baby, I only picked like 12 items, and I couldn't find a lot of those things. And that was Christmas Eve, bitch. And that day was pissing me off. Like, I was just so mad. The thing about looking for the items as well is, like, we have a bunch of different stock rooms. So we have 2 back stock rooms. They have one where it's like the toys, mirrors, bikes, baby stuff, and then they have like another backroom area which would have like all the food, like cereal, stuff like that, candy, dog food, cat food. It would have beauty stuff. It was just, bitch, a lot. Like, when I tell you, a lot. 2 different back stock rooms, and then like 3 different like holding areas of like, not holding areas, because holding areas is for the order pickups. We had 2 different holding areas, and then we had 2 different places where they would put stuff. So like one was for like linen, like shit for the bed and like household stuff, and then the other one was for like clothes and shoes. And it was a lot to like remember where it was because, bitch, what the fuck. But you basically have to remember the areas because on the zebra, when it shows you the item, it shows you the location of where it's at. So you have to remember where that location is so you can like automatically just go over there instead of like trying to look for it, because then that takes away from your time. You'll end up like getting used to the store and you'll be Gucci, like, because I was good after like a good 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I would say. And then I had like a bunch of new people asking me where to go, and I will help them out. But yeah, like I said, that was the one thing that was super irritating, the little INS score shit. Because why are you telling me to talk to you and then you don't even answer when I ask you for help? Or like when you do help me, you're just like, can go look again and then come back if you can't find it, then INF it. And then you have to also audit it out of the system. But then that shit still don't do nothing. Like, you're still, my INF score still going up. So what that should do for me? Like, it was so irritating. But I loved, like, my overall experience of working at Target. It was not a bad job. It was really a good job. I liked that job so much. I wish I would have got hired as a full-time employee or part-time employee, whatever. Like, it was so good. All the people there was nice. I didn't have not one issue with any coworker. Well, there was this one boy that was really just creeping me out, but everybody else was cool. I met a lot of good people there, like a lot of cool people. And yeah, I don't think I think Target is a very good place to work at if you do want to work there. So make sure you apply as a seasonal worker and then get hired, bitch, like after your seasonal time is up. And that's really all I gotta say. Like, Target is a good job, bitch. Like, I don't know anybody else's experience. This is just my experience. I had a good one. I didn't have a bad one. The only thing that used to get me tight was the INF scores, and sometimes the customers would just be very fucking rude. But all you gotta do is really learn how to just breathe and walk away, because that's just what you gotta deal with on a daily basis. But yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you leave a like, comment, share, subscribe for more videos, because I'm back and better than ever. I love y'all. Thank y'all for watching, and go apply to Target, bitch. Go get that coin, mama. Purr. I love y'all. Mwah.